All right, so we did some problems in class on how to, just reviewing how to multiply and divide numbers that are in scientific notation. Okay, so instead of rewriting both of these in standard form, where you move the decimal over 8 times to the right, and this one 2 times to the left, and then multiplying them, all right, we can multiply them how they are, uh, just straight away. All right. What you do is you multiply these coefficients. So you do 4.6 times 7.1. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I should go ahead and get a calculator anyway. 4.6 times 7.1, and that's going to give me 32.66. All right, so from those two, I get 32.66. And keep in mind, all of this is multiplication. So everything I can kind of rearrange and switch around. The next thing I do is I'm going to multiply these two. So 10 to the 8th times 10 to the negative second. That's going to equal 10 to the 6th power. All right, and that's because I'm adding the exponents. 8 plus negative 2. That's how I'm getting 6 there. All right, so this is my answer. I just have to convert it to scientific notation again. This is almost in scientific notation the way it is. So this coefficient right here has to be between 1 and 10. So what I need to do is move the decimal over one space. So it's 3.266. All right. But if I'm moving my decimal over here, I'm going to have to adjust my exponent. All right. So if I'm moving it to the left, that's like, what would that be? That would be like dividing by 10. All right. So I have to compensate for that by adding another 10 up here. It's like I'm taking away a 10 when I divide by 10. So I need to multiply by another 10 over here, which is going to change my exponent from a 6 to a 7. Okay. All right, that's it for that one. Example 2 here. For this one, I've just got 3 numbers in scientific notation. I'm going to do the same thing where I do 8 times 9 times 3. And I'm going to grab a calculator. One that you can actually see on screen. Okay, 8 times 9 times 3. It's 216. And then it's going to be times 10. And then again, since I'm multiplying all of these, I'm just going to add up those exponents. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. Okay, that's my answer. I just got to move that decimal. So my number, my coefficient part, needs to be 2.16. And on this one, I moved the decimal twice to the left. All right, the decimal was here. And since I'm moving it 2 to the left, that's like I'm dividing by 10 twice. It's like I'm taking away 2 10s. So I need to add 2 10s up here. Okay, that'd be my answer. Okay, number 3 here. This one is division. The rules are going to be the same. I'm going to divide my coefficients. All right, so 8 divided by 5. It's 1.6. And it'll be times 10. And then for my exponent, instead of adding up the exponents, when it's division, you'll subtract the exponents. So 16 minus 20 is going to be negative 4. 16 minus 20. And that's it for this one. It's already done. I don't have to move the decimal or anything because this coefficient is between 1 and 10. All right, number 4. 6 divided by 8, that's the same as 3/4. So that would be 0.75 if you divided those. And on this one, whenever you go to subtract the exponents, it's 13 minus -3. So that's going to become a positive 16 there. All right, on this one, I do need to move the decimal, but this time I'm going to the right. Okay, it's going to be 7.5 times 10. And for my exponent adjustment, since I'm moving it to the right, it's like I'm adding a 10 or I'm multiplying by 10. So I got to compensate for that by taking away one of the 10s up here. So it's going to become a 15 now. All right, so if you multiply by 10 to move that decimal over, you got to divide by 10 over here, which is just going to take away one from the exponent, is all it's going to do. All right. Now, let's look at number 5. Where are we at on time here? Yeah, we'll do this one. All right, number 5, this is one of the similar triangle problems. So if you haven't done any of the similar triangles, you might go check some of those out first. All right, this one's kind of a tough one. So given that the two triangles are similar, solve for y. So what I need to do is set up a proportion that relates the two triangles. What I'm going to do is 8 times 10. Let's do 8 times 10 to the third power is to 3 times 10 to the fourth power. All right, so I'm doing this like angled one to the base. So when I set up my second fraction, it's going to be the same thing, the angled one to the base. So my y needs to be on bottom, just like my 3 times 10 to the fourth was over there. All right, to solve it, you got to cross multiply. Okay. 6 times 3, that's going to be 18. And then it's going to be times 10 to the 9th power. Okay, equals, and the way I'm going to do this one is 8 times 10 to the third, and then I'm just going to set the y right next to it. I'm just treating this like any regular number, okay? So if this was like a 5, you would normally write like 5y right here. And then your next step would be to divide by the number that's attached to the y. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to divide this equation by 8 times 10 to the third by 8 times 10 to the third. Those will cancel. So it's going to be y equals, and then I just need to divide this out. 18 divided by 8. Divide those coefficients, you get 2.25 times 10, and then subtract the exponents. 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay. That's it for this one.